Once again, the insurance industry is watching to see how Congress handles the year-end 2020 expiration of the Terrorism Risk Insurance Program Reauthorization Act, better known as TRIPRA. AM Best has been asking rated insurers deemed as having material terrorism exposure and a significant reliance on the federal terrorism insurance backstop for detailed mitigation plans in the event TRIPRA is not renewed. I'm John Weber for AM Best TV. Here to discuss where things stand is AM Best Senior Financial Analyst Edward Zonenberg. And Ed, in your discussions with these companies,
Yes.
Is there anything that has jumped out at you that maybe you didn't expect to hear from them?
Yeah, I was impressed with the professionalism and prudent risk management that most of the companies treated this potential exposure. Although based on the last almost 20 years since 2001, there hasn't been a single event that has been deemed as an act of terrorism by the TRIPRA legislation. The companies still treated this as a serious risk. I was expecting companies to focus more on the remote possibility of the event, but they treated it as an actual and possible exposure. So I was impressed with how every company was able to come up with a plan, and they took this risk very seriously.
Have you seen a common thread among insurers with regard to their strategies should TRIPRA not be renewed?
Yes, there were two basic themes that companies provided in their mitigation strategies. One was sharing the risk through reinsurance, either through facultative reinsurance on individual risks or increased excess of loss reinsurance or increased catastrophic reinsurance. The second strategy that was employed was to not cover the terrorism peril. Two ways that was done was through the non-renewal of their largest risk, which produced the largest exposure, or providing endorsements that would not cover the terrorism peril in the event that TRIPRA were non-renewed. So those are the two basic themes of the mitigation strategies that we saw.
Ultimately, what does AM Best foresee on these companies' ratings?
Well, due to the prudent actions outlined in each company's mitigation strategy, we do not see an explicit rating action based on the expiration of TRIPRA. However, having said that, it is dependent on the successful execution of these mitigation plans. So we reviewed each company's mitigation plans and in many instances asked for more details, and we're very comfortable with the plans that they have in place. So rating action will be dependent on successful completion of these mitigation plans, and we reserve the right in the future to possibly have rating actions if these plans are not successfully completed.
In the event that there was a lapse, a long-term lapse, what do you think the impact on the market would be?
The impact on the market would be significant and it would be negative. It might be a little misleading because we have been focusing on the impact on individual insurers' ratings, but we've noticed a disturbing trend for the industry based on these mitigation plans. As one of them is just the absence of providing the terrorism coverage for the terrorism peril, either through non-renewal or not covering it, and we might end up in the same place we were shortly after 9/11, where the coverage was just not provided and it had a significant impact on the real estate and the construction industry. Another impact is the high reliance on the reinsurance market, and over the last 20 years or so, there hasn't been an event that has been deemed as an act of terrorism by TRIA. So based on past experience, the coverage is available and affordable. However, if there were another major event on the scale of 9/11, that would once again produce big disruptions in the market, and availability and affordability would be anyone's guess at that time.
Thanks, Ed. That was AM Best Senior Financial Analyst Edward Zonenberg. You can find a full report online at ambest.com. For AM Best TV, I'm John Weber.